Good afternoon. We're joined by Indiana student athlete Allie Patberg. Allie, congratulations on the win, and we'll get started with questions. Our first question comes from Donnie. Donnie, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, we're gonna go to.
Sorry about that. I got it. Tonight your team was able to answer pretty much every big run. You were up by 14, they cut it down. What is it about your team that allowed that to withstand that run?
Yeah, we knew coming in, obviously they're the number one seed. They're a great team. They're really well coached, and we knew they were going to make runs. And we just had to stay tough. We had a great, great game plan coming in, and we just had to stick with that. When they made their run, we were going to execute and still be us, and that's what we did. And there's just a different toughness in our locker room, and we're here, to win. And when it came down to it, they made their runs, but we answered.
Our next question comes from Dylan.
Hey, Allie, Dylan Wallace, this high Indiana. Obviously you went to the free throw line at the end. I know you obviously would have liked to make both of them, but you guys had to make two big stops, the one at the end and the one when you guys were up two. Defense has kind of been the thing for you guys throughout this tournament. So what were you kind of telling each other in that moment to, shut them down, make sure they don't tie the game up?
Yeah, again, we were so well coached. We were prepared for every out of bounds play that they were going to run. And again, we just knew we had to get a stop. It was, coming into the game, I told the team before, it was going to be one possession at a time, one stop at a time, one basket at a time. And we did that. We didn't get ahead of ourselves. We didn't, panic when they made a run at the beginning of the game. Again, we knew they are a great team, and we just had to answer. And, down at the end, we were prepared. We came into this game, we came into this tournament knowing that the work we've put in and all the time we've put in, it was going to pay off. We were ready.
Next question comes from Doug.
Hey, Allie, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Doug Wiley with the IDS here. When NC State was making that run, and I know you're a sixth-year player now, you've been here before, what were the conversations like in the huddle just to make them stay calm and be ready for the next play?
Yeah, we just kept saying we're going to get a stop. We're going to get a stop. And again, our coaches had us ready for whatever they were going to, come out and run. And we knew we were going to get a stop. Again, there's just a different type of mentality in our locker room, and there's a toughness, a grittiness, and that's what we brought out there today.
Our next question comes from Doug from the AP.
Hey, Allie, Doug Feinberg, the AP. I remember we chatted about a month ago when you got the top 10 for the first time. You told me as a kid you didn't go to the women's games because they weren't very good. You went to the men's games. What does it mean to have brought this team to the Elite Eight for the first time in program history? And I'm guessing Indiana girls now probably want to go watch you guys play more than watching the men play.
Yeah, this is a dream to play for Indiana. Again, I grew up right down the road. I'm a Hoosier, and this means the world to me. My team, my program, our program, it's a blessing. It's a dream come true. And to be here on this stage with my teammates and my coaches, I can't even explain how much of a blessing it is and how thankful I am and grateful I am to be a part of this team and this school. Like I said, growing up, I was in Assembly Hall so much, and it's just a dream for me.
Our next question comes from Stefan.
Hey, Ali, Stefan Krajcik with the Indy Star. We talked a little bit about the defensive mindset kind of going into this. You guys were able to force, I think it was 17 turnovers. I mean, why do you feel you guys were so successful with that, and how much did that open up the offense for you guys today?
Yeah, ever since we started working for the season, it was, get better every day, get a little better every day. That's what Coach always says. And again, I keep going back to it, but our coaches had us so prepared, so prepared. Again, I think we have the best coaching staff in the country, and that showed tonight. If we just did what our game plan was, we knew we were going to win, and we went out and executed it.
And our next question comes from Jeremy.
Jeremy Price, Bloomington Herald-Times. Allie, it seemed like outside of that first quarter that you guys really were able to kind of dictate the terms of the game and how the game was played. Did you expect to do that coming in, and what kind of allowed you to do that both physically and mentally?
Yeah, again, we knew they were a great team. Again, they were the number one seed for a reason. But we were going to be tougher. We were going to be more grittier. We were going to play harder. And that's what we did. And I don't think they expected that. And we put them on their heels, and we just kept going. We put our foot down and kept it down until the end. And again, they made a run at the end, but we stayed with our game plan and executed down the stretch and got stops when we needed to.
And our next question comes from Skip.
Hey, Allie, congratulations. What an amazing win for you and for the entire team. Take us back after you hit that last free throw to those last 13 seconds. What was going through your mind? And, what was going through your mind?
Well, I missed 3 in the game, so I don't like that. But, when I missed the first one, I was like, I'm going to hit the next one. I had no doubt, and it went in, and we got another stop.
And our next question comes from Joshua.
Hey, Allie, how you doing? Joshua Louder Television Network. Allie, just how important was it for you all to make them uncomfortable just in the second half, especially when they were exerting much energy trying to come back and make up the lead?
Yeah, we wanted to pressure them. We wanted to go over ball screens, wanted to make them uncomfortable. We wanted to double in the post here and there. We wanted to just keep them off guard the whole game, and that's what we did. And again, I've said it probably 6 or 7 times, but our coaches had us ready. I mean, we had a great game plan, and we always do. And we just had to execute it.
Next question comes from Dustin.
Allie, I think you guys started 8 of 27 from the field and then made 20 of your next 27. A lot of those were layups. A lot of those were kind of clean around the rim. What worked so well for you guys offensively to get some of those looks? Obviously, some of those were on the break because of turnovers, but a lot of those still came in half-court basketball. Just what worked there offensively?
Yeah, we have so many, weapons offensively. We just kept attacking. I think early, even me, settled early for threes and jump shots, and in the second half, we just put pressure on them. We went downhill, got to the basket, made them guard, moved the ball from side to side. And again, there are so many players in that locker room that are so skilled, but they've worked for all of that. We all have.
Next question comes from Michelle.
Yeah, Allie, congratulations. I know you've talked about this a lot, but to just go back to your journey, to get hurt right before you started your freshman season at Notre Dame with the ACL, have to sit out, transfer and sit out. It's been a long haul. Can you put in perspective your emotions and you think about what you've gone through to be in this place, to lead Indiana to a place it's never been before?
Yeah, my journey has been very different, but, it's been perfect. I had a lot of hard battles early on. Like you said, I got injured, I transferred, but I came to Indiana where they believed in me. When at times I didn't question myself, but I lost a lot of confidence in my ability to play the game of basketball. And I took my first visit to IU, and I just could tell that the coaching staff and the program were different. They're unique. They were going to put in the same work that I wanted to put in. And I had a plan. I didn't have a plan because I, transferred and all that. But, again, it's been a different journey for me, but I wouldn't have it any other way to be where I'm at with this team. Like I said earlier, it's a dream come true to play for IU. And, it came full circle for me. And I'm just thankful and grateful that I had the opportunity to wear this jersey and be out there with my teammates and play for amazing coaches.
We're going back to Stefan.
Hey, Allie, you guys talked a lot about after that win against Belmont, just kind of the transition of, celebrating what you've accomplished and turning your attention to the next game. It's a little bit of a quicker turnaround this time. I mean, how do you guys kind of shift your focus from this and try to get that win to get you guys to your first ever Final Four?
Yeah, I said this last time after our last win, but, we came to win it all. And, we weren't here to get to a Sweet 16 and then to an Elite 8. We want to keep going, and it was fun celebrating out there. And I think I said last time it's a 24-hour rule, but it's got to be a lot shorter this time. So, we're going to get back to the hotel and we're going to get to work on our next opponent because, like I said, we've not reached our goal yet.
Jeremy and then Dylan, and that's it. Jeremy?
Yeah, Allie, you talked a little bit about what it meant to you personally and everything, but what's it maybe mean to this team and to the program, I guess, to be on the pedestal and kind of be in the national spotlight for this, or what do you hope it accomplishes?
Well, I think we've put, our coaches, us individually, I know for a fact that there's nobody that works harder than us, our program. There's nobody. And I can say that with a lot of confidence. And so it just makes me happy and thankful that all this work is that we have put in as a program. Brenna Wise, she was here last year. The foundation she brought for us in our program, it's all coming into fruition for us. And, I'm so happy for, Coach Moren because she deserves this. She's, worked super hard and believed in so many of us. And I'm just so happy for IU and this program.
And our final question comes from Dylan.
Yeah, Ellie, after the last game, I think you guys kind of showered Coach Moren with water in the locker room. Was this sort of a similar vibe to in celebration? I guess describe sort of the feeling you guys had in the locker room after the game.
They came in with a lot of water this time on us, so I got pretty wet. I know a lot of us did. It was so fun. Memory we'll remember forever.
Allie, that concludes our questions. Again, congratulations on the win and wish you best of luck in your next game. Thank you. We'll now hear from head coach. If you would like to go ahead and raise your hand and get a question registered, you can do so at this time. Again, as a reminder, coach can't see who you are, so I'm asking that you say your name and your affiliation so she knows who she's speaking with. Thank you.
Coach? Yeah, this side? Yeah, sorry.
Coach, good afternoon, good evening, and congratulations on the win.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to give us an opening statement?
Sure. We're over the moon right now. So excited. So proud of this group. And as I said to them, I had one word, and that was toughness. I mean, we were so resilient. We were playing from behind for a little bit of that first half, and we never blinked. We just held true to who we are. We just dug our heels in. I thought we were tremendous defensively. I thought, obviously starting with Nikki, I thought they all were great, but Nikki did a terrific job on Perez. I thought the MVP of the game, though, was Alexa Gulbe. I thought what she gave us tonight was extraordinary. So happy for my staff, these players. They deserve this. As I said to them, I keep telling them, we're built for this, from an endurance standpoint. We have this blue-collar mentality that we live by in Bloomington every day. We step on the floor, and so we are built for this. And I'm so proud that you reap what you sow, and we have continued just to deposit work every day, make those deposits, and this is what where it's led us. And tonight, I thought a lot of things came to light in terms of that, starting with us defensively. But I thought we had great movement offensively tonight. Was really able to spread them out, beat them off the bounce. And so I was really pleased too that we kept it low turnover game for us. Just really, I can't tell you just how proud I am of this group. And no one deserves this moment more than they do in our staff.
All right, Coach, we're going to start with some questions. And our first question is going to come from Donnie.
Donnie Woods with World Exposure Report. You've been coaching a long time. This is the most historic run in the history of the school and for women's basketball. Would you have seen this trip to the Elite Eight as being even possible a couple months ago? And what is it like for you personally to be right in the middle of this and coaching this particular team?
Yes, to answer your question, the first question, absolutely. I'm a big believer in putting things out there, and if we're going to do the work and ask these kids to do the work, then our sights and our expectations are going to be high. I mean, why wouldn't they be? And so we've said from day one that we were going to build this thing brick by brick. We weren't going to try to skip steps. We were going to get the players in this program that fit me, that fit our staff and our work ethic, that we were going to be, not just in the peaks, but we were going to be in the valleys with them every day. And that's just how we've carried ourselves. And our expectations for each other as a team, for coaches, are high. And so I'm not surprised that we're sitting here, talking about the next step, which is an Elite Eight for this group. And I don't think that our players are surprised. We have, in the last probably 3 or 4 years, have intentionally really, upped our schedule and played some of the best. Last year we were at the Virgin Islands and we opened up with South Carolina and Baylor. Beat South Carolina, came awfully close to a really great Baylor team. And so we've been in these moments. And so our expectations absolutely are high, and that will always be the case. To answer your second question, how do I feel? I'm extremely blessed, and I have so much joy right now for these players, just to see their excitement. This is unfamiliar territory for all of us. And so, why you coach and why I coach is because I want to have an impact on these young ladies. And anytime you can do something for the first time, and the whys and the reasons why we're able to do this for the first time, and just how stinking hard they've worked. I'm like I said, I'm over the moon and so joyful on the inside for these players and my staff, because that's why I'm sitting here. I'm just hopeful to be just trying to be a great representative of them, and explain a little bit of what we do and how we do it and why we do things the way we do.
Our next question comes from Doug from the AP.
Hey, Coach, Doug Feinberg, the AP. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
I remember chatting to you about a month ago and you got ranked in the top 10 for the first time. And you told me that when you were a kid, you went to a bunch of games at Assembly Hall, but it was men's games.
Right.
Because the women's team wasn't very good.
Right.
What does it mean now to have this team somewhere there's never been before, led by you and obviously Allie, who's your kid herself, to get somewhere that now maybe little girls may want to come to watch you guys play instead of watching the men's team play?
Well, like I said the other night, Indiana, the state of Indiana is basketball. And so it means so much for us to, be able, obviously, to do what we did tonight. And, we've continued just to build our own tradition. And I think I told you, the tradition was always on the men's side. And we wanted to build our own. And when people talk about Indiana women's basketball or Indiana basketball, we didn't want it to be exclusive just to the men's side. We want people not only in the state, but hopefully the people that tuned in tonight and watched a great game, because NC State is fabulous, left with watching a team that obviously shares the ball, obviously had good ball movement, is tough as nails defensively. And so hopefully we not only represented the state of Indiana, but we gained some other fans out there that just wanted to see and watch a great women's basketball game tonight. And so for that, like I said, I'm thankful. I'm happy for Allie Patberg, our Indiana kids, but I'm happy for our entire team. And it's because of those kids that we can represent Indiana the way, we can tonight. But I'll tell you this, that group's not quite done yet. So, they're eager to play some more basketball. And I'm here for it.
Our next question comes from Stefan.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned a little bit there just, the last run that NC State had at the end. And, I mean, the whole game was just like that. You guys just trading runs back and forth, especially in that first half. I mean, what does that say about just the confidence of that group, of your group at this point to withstand that and stay in the game and even take a lead into halftime?
Well, like I said, they didn't blink. They did. That doesn't keep this group. It doesn't. We've played from behind a lot of times. I mean, we play in the Big Ten, and it's a unbelievable league, and so we're sort of used to being in those scenarios, but understand that it's a long game. It's a 40-minute game, and you just kind of have to keep chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and so we don't get bothered by the fact that they made a run and I mean we understand, like I said, the game is long, and we talk about that all the time in timeouts, that we just got to keep chipping away, get great possessions offensively, and then do what we have to do defensively to get stops.
Our next question comes from Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy Price, Bloomington Herald-Times. Coach, how important was it? Seemed like outside of that early on there that you guys were able to kind of dictate how the game was played and kind of what adjustments needed to be made. How important was that for you guys tonight? And also maybe just kind of what kind of statement does that make about the program to be able to do that against a top seed team like that?
Well, I mean, we played how we always play. We came into this tournament just trying to be who we are. We are not trying to be anybody different. We are extraordinary. My staff is extraordinary at putting together scouting reports, and our kids are always prepared. Our goal is never for our kids to get into a game and be surprised. But offensively, we are who we are. We're going to try to push the pace. We're going to try to play fast. We really tried to go to our open motion more so tonight than ever, and just let our kids play with freedom. And I think that made all the difference, is that they weren't thinking, they were just playing. And not that we don't want them thinking, but they were just out there, I think, playing with so much more freedom. And so, I think the statement it makes is that, again, this is a team that I really believe is I know this. They're for real. I mean, they're good, and we've had success early in this season. And I've always, as their head coach, this is a good basketball team. And tonight they were a great basketball team. And so I don't know that it's any other statement other than we do things the right way. These kids are humble. They have so much humility, when it comes to this game. They don't take anything for granted. We are who we are. We are blue collar. We're going to roll up our sleeves, and we're going to step between the lines, and we're going to go to work. And then once it's a competitive environment, we're going to try to go toe to toe with you. And we're not going to back down from anybody. And that's the confidence that they have, but hopefully it's a confidence they have in each other. But it's the confidence that I, as their leader, has in them. I mean, I love this group, and I believe in this group, and I know my staff believes in this group, and I know that group believes in each other. And that's all you have to have is belief.
Our next question comes from Michelle.
Yeah, Coach, this is Michelle Vogel from ESPN.com. I had two questions for you quick. One is, Allie obviously 2 of the first 3 years she was in college, she couldn't play. She was hurt, and then she had to transfer and had to sit out. And she talked about losing her confidence during that time and how much you were able to help her rebuild that. How do you do that? Even as a player with that much talent, when they lose confidence, how do you help them with that? And then secondly, if you could just talk about using the WNIT championship as a springboard, because I believe you talked about that a couple of years ago when you won that, to use that as a springboard to NCAA tournament success, which you've had.
Well, to answer your first question, Michelle, is Allie Patberg is one of the best kids I will ever coach. And I say that, I mean her character, how she's been raised, her respect level that she has for her staff and for her team. And so the answer is really simple. We just loved on her. We just loved on her and tried to build her up every day. She is a passionate kid. She loves being in the gym. And I think a lot of that was fostered right in there between the lines with her. We just went to work with her. Coach Box oversees our guard play, and he's extraordinary at developing, and he just worked with her every day. We would all be down there on the floor because that's what we do in our program. When somebody's working out, we're all there, giving our kids good juice, and so it was not a hard thing to do. She was broken when she arrived to Indiana, but as long as she had somebody that was willing to work and be in the gym with her and love on her and laugh with her, we just watched her sort of blossom in front of us to the kid that I watched in high school who played so fearlessly at Columbus North and was an emotional leader. And so, it's been such a pleasure to coach her and to help her, but just watch her be a part of her journey. I mean, I'm so blessed to be a part of, Allie Patberg and the journey that she's been on since she's been in Indiana. But, I think she always say this about Allie, she makes everybody else around her better. But I think most importantly, Allie makes people feel important. It's really special. When you're in her presence, she is all about you and doesn't get distracted. She's not on the phone kind of kid, text messaging. That's not Allie. I mean, she wants to be in the moment right there, with someone, getting to know them on a personal level. And she's been an unbelievable leader for this group. Unbelievable. None of this is possible without Allie Patberg in the leadership that she provides in that locker room every night for those kids. The NIT run was obviously something that we still are excited about and is talked about in Bloomington, because I think one of the biggest things it did was it brought more people to our games. We gained some extra fans that have fallen in love with Indiana women's basketball. So that's the first thing. But I do think this. I think it sort of jump-started what we have been trying to do here, and that's win consistently. Win in big moments. In the 6 games that we had in Simon Scott Assembly Hall, those every game got a little bit bigger, and so we talk about championships, and they can come in a lot of different ways and forms, and we're awfully proud, obviously, of the WNIT championship with the Tyra Buss and Amanda Cahill, who were here at the very beginning when we started to build this thing, and so it certainly has done a lot, I think, for this program, from not just outside, as far as, like I said, the interest in women's basketball at Indiana, but also it has set the standard, right, for what we want to accomplish in this program. And so yeah, I think it's been really important, that we got that. But I will say this: after we accomplished that, that was no longer going to be the goal, was to get back to another WNIT championship. At that point, it's now we want to be, year in and year out, in the dance, right, in the NCAA. And not to take, again, that experience was unbelievable in so many ways. But that didn't become the goal. It was, okay, our goal is to get into the tournament, the 64 teams. And that would have happened last year if the pandemic hadn't happened. But that's our goal. And then obviously making a deep run in the tournament has now become the goal. It was last year, and we kept the same goal this year.
Thank you.
Due to time restraints, we don't have time for 2 more questions. We'll go with Skip first.
Hi, Skip.
Hi, Skip Daly with the South Central Indiana News Network. Coach, congratulations. What an amazing win. I've been asking you questions since preseason about the depth of your team and your bench, and you've been talking about how strong they are. They've been proving that. You got some really great quality minutes again from the bench, but specifically, I want to ask you about the minutes that you got, the last 3 minutes and 53 seconds that you got from Keandra.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that aggressive play and how she really helped to solidify those holds at the end.
You know, Skip, she was so ready for that moment. And even afterwards, when she gave me a hug, she thanked me for just believing in her. And so I think that says a little bit about who she is. She is all about her team. And, she is playing on a bad hip right now, but if she's told me once, she's told me 1,000 times, whatever you need me to do, I will do. I will be there. And so tonight was a great example of a kid that has stayed ready, has been ready, was ready tonight. And she came in, and I know, she misses her 2 free throws, and she was obviously disappointed with that. But she made some really big plays and really had to hold it down, when Mac went out with her, when she fouled out. And so I'm just thrilled. I'm so thrilled that we get her. She's going to be in our program for a long time, and she's just going to keep getting better and better and better. And it's really disappointing right now that she's playing hurt, because we're not seeing the best Keandra Brown. She's not moving the way we know she can move. But I tell you what, she's going to give you every ounce of fight when she comes in, and that's the thing. And I love that kid. And I appreciate that kid, for what she's been through this season.
Our final question is going to come from Dustin.
Just Teri, Dustin DePierac from the Daily Hoosier, just kind of piggybacking off of that. I mean, what worked across the board for you guys in the last 3 minutes when you guys lose Mackenzie, especially in those last 2, defensive stops? Just what had to come together when you didn't have her on the floor?
Well, I thought our guard play. I thought Alexa was so aggressive tonight. We just kept, trying to get into, again, just a lot of rubbing action. We were running some rubs and some double rubs, just trying to get Berger and Allie and Nikki just loose in some open space. And we really felt like by doing that, we were creating some opportunities for us to get some rail drives at the basket. And so we just kind of opened it up and let them, like I said earlier, just let them play with some freedom. And it worked for us, at the beginning. And it worked. We weren't going to go away from it, at least I'm smart enough to understand that, if it's working, keep doing it. And so we didn't try to overcomplicate it. I mean, that was what was great about the game plan. We weren't in there strategizing and drawing up plays as much as we were like, we just have to continue to get movement and be able to play off of each other. And, I think that's – and then, again, he was switching back and forth. He went from man to zone a little bit. So we executed when they went to their zone. We took a couple ill-advised shots. I thought early in the shot clock, when I call them ill-advised, they're wide open, but they're early into the shot clock. And we didn't need to do that, so we were guilty. We got to the timeout. We got to fix that. I just think our kids stayed aggressive, and that made all the difference in the world. They played to win. They didn't play not to lose.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank
I just
you.
want to remind members of the media that Indiana will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central for the Elite Eight press conference, and they will play the winner of the Texas A&M Arizona game. Once again, that concludes this post-game press conference. As a reminder, the recording of this press conference will be available at the NCAA Digital Media Hub. Thank you for your time and have a good evening.